You guys, church was really weird this morning. So I was doing good. I was in a pretty good mood. The sun was shining. It was really cold this morning, but sunny. And I got to church in plenty of time. I'd gotten everything set up, which takes close to an hour. And so I've got that all ready. And since the church was still cold, I was out on the church porch, kind of waiting for people to show up. And the first people to arrive were David, who was brought by Anne. Anne's a woman older than myself, wonderful writer and painter. She's awesome. So they show up together, and usually it takes them a minute to get out of the car, but David, gets out of the car, and I can tell he's in a mood. I mean, you can see it from 30 feet away, which is about what he was. He slams the car door and storms past me into the church. I mean, storms past me. And I really didn't want to ask him what the heck his problem was. I just kept smiling. I walked over to where Anne was still getting her things out of her car. And she had brought me, Anne is so sweet, she brought me this gelatine. It's supposed to be good for the cartilage in your joints. And she brought me this Invigo Flex, something like that. Again, another joint supplement. She brought me some hydrolyzed collagen, and she brought me some B vitamins, which I just accidentally dropped into the garbage. B complex. I've been meaning to get myself some of those. So, yay. That was really sweet of her. She and I, slowly made our way into the church. And meanwhile, David's already in there, and he's ringing the bell like it's time to start. It wasn't even 10 o'clock yet, but he's ringing the bell in any case. So we walked in, and I got up to the altar. David sits down, Anne sits down. Two other people came in, Jerry and Terry, as a matter of fact. And so I'm getting ready to start the service, and I said to everyone, I said, I'm not going to vest in my robe this morning because it's so cold. I hope you guys don't mind, but I want to keep my jacket on. You can't wear a jacket under an alb. So, and everybody's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Except for David, who goes, yeah. Let's just start. Like, angry. And so I gave him the look, right? The look. And I'm trying so hard to, keep my pulse rate down and not let him throw me off, because I'm in a space that's ready to worship, and he clearly isn't, and I can feel it starting to affect me. I can feel my pulse increasing, I can feel my heart rate increasing, I'm starting to feel flushed, because obviously he's going to give me a power struggle this morning. I said, okay, let's not rush things, let's take our time. David says, I'm not in the mood. I said, okay, but please just don't be rude to me. We're going to start. He says, I'm not being rude. I'm just in a bad mood. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, now we're all in a bad mood. Let's give up happiness for Lent. It was like the whole energy changed in the whole room, because he had to emotionally bleed all over the place. God bless him, he makes me mad. So we get through the service. He even did a reading. He refused to do the prayers of the people. Usually there's a certain point in the service where we pray for things that we pray for every week. He usually leads the congregation in that. He just said that he couldn't do it this morning, so he asked Anne to do it. Anne did it. That was fine. And, you know, all this time I'm wondering, what the heck is going on with you that you are in such a mood? So the service ends, and everybody starts to go into where we have refreshments right in the next room. And David is talking with Jerry. They're having a conversation that I'm not really paying attention to, but I hear David say, well, she's leaving. And now I know what's going on with David. I had mentioned to him, I think it was on Ash Wednesday, that sometime in the next year, I'll probably be moving down closer to where my son is incarcerated to be closer to him. And that I was sure that our mother church would either provide somebody to run the church, or the church would close and he could attend elsewhere, and that it was going to be fine. And, you know, he had started flipping out at that point. This was Ash Wednesday, I think, when I was driving him home. And he started getting, like, weird about it. And I said, David, I'm not going to feel guilty about, please don't make me feel guilty about, you know, moving closer to where my son is. He goes, I would never make you feel guilty. But he was making me feel guilty. So anyway, this morning, when he said she's leaving, I knew exactly what he was upset about. And I hear Jerry say, who's leaving? Because this is so far in the future, I haven't even, like, announced it yet. I just, you know, I mentioned it to David. It's not, like, a big deal. So Jerry says, who's leaving? And David says, her. You know, I guess I don't even get a name anymore because I'm leaving. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Guys, I try not to let him upset me. But it's like, first off, to bring that kind of energy, that kind of angry into a church on Sunday morning when people are going to worship is so immature. I mean, he could have taken me aside and said, Leslie, you know, I've got a lot of feelings about you leaving. Can we talk about this real quick before the service? Can I have a hug? You know, anything like that would have been fine. But he just kind of emotionally bled all over everyone and changed the entire energy of everyone in the place. That's not okay. Secondly, this is a year away. Let's not be so dramatic about it. And thirdly, if you're really dismayed that someone is leaving, wouldn't you value the time that you had with them and make it as pleasant as possible? And so all this is going through my head, and at the same time I'm thinking, but this is not a rational person. I'm expecting rational behavior and rational responses from somebody that's not capable of being rational. But sometimes it really affects our little community, his behavior. I mean, everybody would have been fine this morning if not for that level of public display. And I'm not saying people shouldn't share what they're hurting. It's just there's better ways to do it. And I wish I could teach him, but he's 57 years old. Anyway, guys, it's been a rough morning. And I think I'm going to spend the rest of the day with Maya, because our time is limited. And, she's like sucking on herself over there. So, Maya, what are you doing? Don't do that. Whatever you were doing, it sounded gross. Anyway, I love her so much. And I know our time is limited, so I'm going to make it quality time, and I'm going to spend some time with my dog and just love on her. And she doesn't talk. She's like really good that way. You guys, I'm such a bad minister. I know that whoever does take over this little church will do a better job than I am doing. Yeah, it's my best, but it kind of sucks. But then again, I've got a difficult little crew of people to deal with. Anne and Terry are the only other two that are even capable of really rational thought. And, you know, they're old. I hope they send somebody, like, young and attractive to the community, because, like, it's a community of 1,000 people, and 5 of us show up for church at the little local Episcopalian church. And it's not that everybody's going to the Catholic church, because they're not getting very many people either. I don't know. Families just aren't into church so much anymore. Let me know how the churches are doing in your community. I don't know. Is communal worship becoming a thing of the past? I'm sad if that's the case. Stay happy. Stay healthy. Don't forget Granny loves you. And I'll see you next time. And yeah, hopefully hopefully it won't be such a weird day. Yeah. What am I thinking? All my days are weird. I'm a little weird. Bye, guys.